Could it kind of maybe darken up the screen to contrast or something?
Do we need to get a filter?
You got news for you, buddy.
There's our knock. We'll go ahead and get going. We are going to welcome anybody who's on YouTube or Zoom this evening, and the applicant who is here with us this evening to the Board of Adjustment meeting dated August 30, 2021. We have two items on our regular agenda. What I think we'll do is we'll move the approval of the August 24, 2021 minutes to the end, and we'll just go right into the public hearing for the conditional use permit. As I said, we've got our applicant here. We'll take care of yours, and if you want to stay and listen to us approve minutes, you are more than welcome to. So, well, you know, we like to accommodate when people come to our meetings. We like to accommodate. With that, Amy, we'll turn the time over to you for our presentation.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Oops. And my clicker. All right. So tonight we're here for the conditional use permit application for 3400 Robinson Park Road. That's in the area of city impact. So the applicant who's with us tonight has applied for a conditional use permit for an accessory cottage exceeding 900 square feet located at 3400 Robinson Park Road. The proposed accessory cottage would be 1,293 square feet. It's 63 feet setback from the western property line and 37 feet setback from the southern property line. This is in the agriculture forestry zoning district in the area of city impact, where accessory cottages above 900 square feet require a conditional use permit. In the area of city impact, per City of Moscow ACI agreement with Latah County, Moscow's Board of Adjustment is to conduct one hearing and forward a recommendation onto Latah County. So the site is 4.79 in acreage. Northwest of Robinson Park Road. The subject property already contains a single-family home that is 5,068 square feet, as well as a detached garage. The adjacent properties to the northeast and the west also contain residential homes, and the property southeast of Robinson Park Road is 1.96 acres of undeveloped land. The parcel directly north is 119 acres of undeveloped land. This is the site and area of the subject property here. As you can see, another single-family home here and another single-family home here. Vacant land to the south and to the north. The zoning for the subject property and adjacent properties to the north, east, and west are all currently ag forest. Within the area of city impact, the county's ag forest zone has been adopted. According to Latah County zoning code, the ag forest zoning district is established to achieve the purpose of this ordinance and the goals and policies of Latah County Comprehensive Plan by accommodating, providing opportunities for, and the continuation of agriculture and forest land uses. Uses allowed in this zoning in this zone include those that are integral to agriculture and forestry, uses which will not conflict with accepted farm and forest practices, and uses which will not result in the excess conservation or conversion of productive farm and forest land to a use which can be more appropriately located in other zoning designations and which are not consistent with Idaho Agricultural Protection Act. The accessory cottage in excess of 900 square feet requires a conditional use permit, as we discussed, in Ag Forest zoning district per Latah County zoning code. Here is the zoning that we just talked about. Predominantly ag forest in the surrounding area, SR across to the south. So the comprehensive plan for the City of Moscow land use growth map designates the subject property and the surrounding properties as auto urban residential. The comprehensive plan also designates the Robinson Park Road as a minor arterial road. So streets and access of the subject property, the subject property is northwest of Robinson Park Road. The site is accessed via Robinson Park Road, which is a minor arterial, as we just talked about, and is developed as a 24-foot wide paved road. There are 2 travel lanes and minimal gravel shoulders on both sides. This is an image of said road, showing both travel lanes and the gravel on each shoulder. This is the subject property. As we discussed, single-family home here, detached garage here, and obviously driveway entering the residence. This is the site plan showing the entire parcel, single-family existing here, as well as the detached garage. The property would be, the accessory dwelling unit would be back here in the rear of the parcel, accessed off of the same driveway, entering the property. A row of mature trees here, and well and septic in the front. Here's the floor plan showing the 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom ADU. Also has a living area, kitchen, and laundry room. So Latah County zoning standards. This application meets all the pertinent Latah planning zoning requirements. Any additional requirements will be verified by Latah County at the time of permitting. So staff's recommendation tonight is that the City of Moscow Board of Adjustment put forth a recommendation of approval for the proposed conditional use permit at 2400 Robinson Park Road to Latah County Zoning Commission with no conditions, and to direct staff to prepare the relevant criteria and standards to review at an upcoming meeting. And I would be happy to take any questions you might have.
I guess, Amy, this is more of a comment than a question. A few years back, a prior owner of this property was granted a conditional use permit, and this, I know this was before your time, and the conditional use permit was for a dance studio. And I don't know if that was the prior owner right before you or the one before that, but there was a conditional use permit already allowed on this property.
The prior owner hosted the dance studio in the detached garage and built it as a dance studio. And then later on, it was converted to a garage. And I don't think that it would likely apply to something that we're considering doing now. But yeah.
Okay, I just thought I'd bring that because I don't think it has any effect on this application whatsoever.
Correct. Yeah.
Tim, anything?
Nope.
I don't have anything. Thank you very
Okay.
much. With that, we're going to open up the public portion of the hearing or the evening. Mr. Brunel, we're going to ask you to come forward. You're welcome to come and talk with us a little bit about the project. We may have some questions for you. You certainly can if you'd like. You don't have to. Up to you. Great, we'd love to hear about it. Oh, and go ahead and state your name and your address just for the record.
My name is Jonathan Brownell. I live at the residence on 3400 Robinson Park Road, just outside the city limits in the area of impact that we've been talking about. And the dwelling that we're looking at building will be a residence for my parents. They're living in Los Angeles and getting older and needing more attention and care. And that's a process that we look forward to building and getting them established over the next year or two. But beyond that, we don't have any substantial plans or purposes for the construction.
Marshall had asked a question about a former conditional use permit that had been granted, and you were in the audience. I don't know that the microphone's picked up, but would you mind just covering what you briefly told us before you came up to the podium?
Yeah.
We just want to get that on the record.
Absolutely. The property owners prior to us, I believe in the realm of a dozen years ago, used the area that is our current detached garage as a public dance studio space. And my understanding is that it was a public business where they had traffic coming in and out for that purpose. By the time we purchased the property, that was no longer active. They didn't have any further activity there. And so I actually wasn't familiar with the conditional use permit that was involved in that back in history. But I spoke to them and they gave me some details as to what used to be taking place on the property.
Great, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Bernard, go ahead.
Yeah, got a couple of questions. One, looking at the site plan, it looks like you're going to put in a separate sewer and drain field rather than what's already on the house. It's going to be a separate one, is that correct?
That's right, yeah.
So, I'll give you a little history. About 30 years ago, I put an extensive remodel on your house. We remodeled the whole inside, and we put an addition on the back. And during the time that we did the remodel, we also put in a new septic system, which I think goes between your driveway and the street there. But we had a very difficult time getting that approved by the health department, but we did get it approved. And so I'm glad to see that you're going to do a separate septic system other than the existing one with the house. But as far as the water line go, are you going to tie into the water line with the house?
Yes, the well from the house has enough of a flow in order to support an extra residence.
So, okay.
Yeah, we got the diagram of the septic drain field that exists right now from the county and very quickly decided we didn't want to try extending that. So there's ample space for an additional drain field. The health department just came out this week and had a look at it, and they don't expect any problems with that.
Okay. And then as I recall, that behind the existing house and behind the addition that we put on, the hill was fairly steep coming down through there. Are you going to be needing to do any retainage or anything like that behind the proposed home you're going to do?
The construction of the home you'll see in the diagrams is set up as a bungalow where it's recessed into the hillside. It's a single level, and so there will be a stem wall with the grade of the hill coming up down to probably 3 or 4 feet up against the side of the house. And there will be a little bit of retaining work, and we tried to arrange the driveway to have to be as minimally invasive as possible and also kind of work with the contour of the hillside. We had the zoning folks out from the county come and help us try to locate the ideal site for what we wanted to do. And there's a leveler spot on the hillside that we think will be a good site for this.
One of the things that we incorporated into our addition and remodel, we took the hillside above where the proposal is, and we actually put drainage swells in there. We actually put drain tile, getting that surface water to come around and go around the house. And so you may run into a little of that when you excavate. And so if anybody has any questions about it, I could probably answer those questions.
That's good
for
to
you.
know, thank you. It was remodeled again about 10 years ago, and there's substantial extra construction in kind of the same area and on the second story level as well. So the property was originally built in the late 1800s, and so it's a nice patchwork of
It was, yeah.
construction efforts over many decades.
And we also tried to take some of the drainage and divert it so it kept the pond fuller.
Yes, last week the pond just ran completely dry, and so that's
See, Marshall knows where all the bodies are buried.
that could be helpful.
You may need to come see me.
I don't have any more questions.
All right,
Tim,
it was
anything?
nice to meet you.
No, I'm all for bringing Grandma and Grandpa back home. Good. Well, thank you very much.
There is nobody else here, so we'll go ahead and, unless there's, I don't know if there's even an option for, well, is there anybody on Zoom with us that you can tell? Okay, there's no option for anybody else, so we'll go ahead and close the public hearing as everybody in the audience who's present has spoken. So we'll invite you to sit down. You're welcome to stay, and we'll go ahead and deliberate. Does anybody have any concerns about this,
Oh,
Marshall?
no, I've got no concerns whatsoever. I was just gonna make a motion unless Tim wants to do it.
Well, sure, I'll, go ahead, Marshall. I'll be happy to second.
Okay, anyway, I would move that we recommend to the Latah County Board of Commissioners that they approve the conditional use permit for this property.
Okay, Marshall's got a motion.
And that we ask Amy or Jennifer to provide the relevant criteria and all the standard stuff for us to look at.
Second.
Okay, moved in second, all in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous. Thank you for being here.
Good
Now,
luck.
the more riveting part of the meeting is going to happen right now. So you are more than welcome to stay, but certainly we understand if you've got other things to do this evening, but thank you very much. We will get a meeting on the books to go ahead and formally get the documents signed, but you should be good to go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming this evening.
Good luck.
Thanks, nice to meet you too.
Okay, we have two things to take care of. We need to approve the minutes from last week as well as the reason statement of relevant criteria and standards.
Okay.
And I took a look at it and I thought staff did a pretty good job of putting this together, so.
Can we do these in two separate motions?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
I made a couple observations, probably just need clarifications. Amy?
Yep.
Paragraph 2 of the minutes says, Henrich presented the remand information for the conditional use permit application as described above. The board should only consider criteria 2 regarding harmony of the proposed use of the neighborhood and surrounding land uses, and not the other 7 criteria. Should that be 6? Because there's only 7 total.
Yes, it should be.
Okay. Also, this might be just a formatting thing, but on page 1 of 7, on the reasoned statements of relative criteria and standards.
We're going to do that as a separate issue.
Oh, excuse me. Okay, yeah, thank you, good catch.
Any other changes for the minutes?
I move that the minutes be approved as modified.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Tim moved, Marshall seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, minutes are approved. And now, the relevant criteria and standards. Tim,
ahead, Tim.
take it away.
Okay, the, page 1 of 7, the second whereas is the matter came before the Board of Adjustment during a duly noticed public hearing March 29th, 2021. Then 2 whereas is below, we go to April 21. Okay, maybe I read this wrong. I thought these were out of sequence. No, it appears like they are not. My fault, I misread that. So the last comment I have is, on minutes of number 32 on page 5 of 7. It's the last issue there, the last item. In addition to the written testimony received, public testimony in opposition of the proposed, a total of 7 people were heard from 7 people. Oh, okay, I didn't read the last sentence. I wondered why we didn't list the ones who were in favor of, but you did on the last sentence, so I'm sorry, I misread that one also. I have no other comments than that.
Okay.
Sometimes I ought to read this twice, maybe.
Oh, I've got one comment, Mark, on page 4 of 7, item number 23. You find it, Amy?
Uh-huh.
Okay, it says, the closest residential structure sit 120 feet to the west, 190 feet to the south, and 360 feet to the north, and 675 feet east of the proposed wireless thing. But in actuality, to the south, there's a residential structure within 20 feet, and that wasn't listed.
So I can amend that if you'd like and just call that out specifically, but because it's part of the existing church campus,
Yeah.
it's not really,
I
yeah.
say that was my recollection, is that was,
It was part of the
Campus, yeah.
campus, but when I asked a question at our prior meeting, I said, well, could that do a lot division and be separated, and they could sell that structure as a residential not belonging to the church? So I still felt that it was relevant that there was a residential structure within 20 feet of the proposal.
I can amend that and add a sentence,
That'd
just
be great.
acknowledging that that's there for sure.
That'd be great.
Okay.
any other additions, edits? Okay.
I move approval of the reason statement, relevant criteria and standards as amended.
I second.
Marshall has moved, Tim has seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And that passes. I think we're done. Anything else that we've got coming up?
We'll just have the relevant criteria and standards meeting for
Oh, we need
the
to put-
hearing tonight. The dates that Jennifer found that council chambers or the mayor's conference room are open would be September 7th, September 8th, and September 9th. However, with only 3 of you here tonight, it may be better that we send an email out.
I'm good for all three.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll be in Alaska that whole week,
okay.
so.
Well, I'd like to be in Alaska that whole week too.
It's been raining there quite a bit.
Oh, still, it'd be nice. Yeah, Jennifer, why don't we send an email out since we won't know that we'd even achieve a quorum if we make a decision tonight? Since
The-
Marshall won't be there.
I say the only night that I've got to teach a class at the law school at 5:30 on the 9th, on Thursday, but
Okay.
otherwise, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm available.
Okay.
So,
So we'll finalize that date this week in an email and we'll go from there, but that's all we have upcoming.
okay, thank you very much.
About a 6
Appreciate it.
Labor Day.
So wasn't too
Oh,
bad.
Amy?
22 minutes.
Yes.
As a matter of City of Moscow policy, would you send the recommendation to approve the conditional use permit before the appeal process?
Nope.
You don't
So-
send it until after that?
Yeah.
Okay,
So the RCS meeting that'll be signed and then the 10-day appeal period starts. And then on the 10th day, after that's complete, that's when I forward the recommendation, all the relevant documents and a link to the YouTube video.
okay.
So they'll have all that in the
So,
records.
so that starts the timeline then after we approve that?
Right.
Okay. All right.
7:22, not bad.
Yeah.
Nice. Mr. Acting President, Mr. Acting Chair, nice job.
It's still light outside.
Yeah, I don't have to walk my bike home.
Well,
Are you, I want to make sure I'm got the right email. Have you been reading a couple of things?